Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Simon here, and I'm finally back with another upload. It's been about 3 days. I apologize for that. Like I said on my last video, there'd probably be a little bit of a hiatus for me, but I'm back like I said. And today we're here with a Euro fantasy video once again. I believe I did my team for match week 1, not for match week 2, but I'm back with a match day 3 video. I used my limitless chip in match day 2, and for match day 3 I'm thinking I'm gonna wild card just because there's a little bit of uncertainty regarding which players will play in what fixtures and whatnot. But after the group stage, almost half the teams are eliminated, and I believe you get unlimited free transfers before the knockouts. One last thing before we get into the video, guys, I've been streaming almost every day on Twitch. I've been streaming FIFA, Fortnite, but I'm also down to play, pretty much any game y'all want to see, so just let me know. Come over and say hi. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into my team for match day 3. So like I said, I'm using my wild card this week just because I want to make sure I have players who are actually playing and are playing in fixtures that matter. Some teams are already through, so I'd imagine they have quite a bit of rotation, so I wanted to go with some safe picks this week, so I'm using up the last of my chips in the group stage. Anyway, up on the screen you guys can see the leaderboard. I scrolled down to like the top 200 just to give you guys some reference. Top 200 is at 157. I'm at 127, so I'm top 50,000 right now, which is pretty good. Not amazing, but also not bad at all. But I'm only 30 points off the top 200, which you can make up that difference if you have a really good week and have a proper captain choice. That's where I messed up in match day 2. You guys wouldn't have seen my team, but I did pretty well overall. But what I screwed up was my captain choices, so I've given myself some better options this week, I believe. Anyway, here's the team. I'm not going to go through it one by one. I'm kind of just going to show you guys the entire team. If you want to see it, you can copy it or get some suggestions, but I'm just going to go through it position by position instead of actually adding the players in. But I'm leaving it here in its entirety from the start for y'all to see. So starting off in net, I have Hidrodetsky, I believe is how you say his name. I just got him because I already had him. He's cheap, and his price actually went up a bit from 4 to 4.2 million, I believe. He plays Belgium, so not the best fixture for him. But again, when I sort by date down here, you guys can see he plays before my other keepers on my bench. So if he doesn't do well, I can just sub on Szczesny from Poland, who I believe is a much better fixture. He plays Sweden, so I think his chance of a clean sheet is decent. Not amazing, but decent. But with a lot of the bigger teams like Belgium and Italy going through, it's kind of hard to find players that are having preferable matchups, easy opponents, as well as being locked down and guaranteed to start. Speaking of guaranteed to start, and I just mentioned Italy, I have 3 Italian players on my team: Berardi, Spinazzola, and Bonucci. Italy play Wales, but the thing is, they're already through. We don't know what lineout Roberto Mancini is going to put out. I believe that's how you say his last name. Hope I didn't butcher that. But yeah, we don't know what lineup he's going to put out, but it's not risky at all to go with double or even triple Italian players like I've done this week, because they are quite literally the first game of the match day, and the deadline is right at kickoff for that match. So basically, in my time zone, for example, that game is at 8 in the morning, but at 7, the lineups are released for the Italy-Wales game, and then I can always change any of these 3 Italian players to 3 Italian players that are starting. So basically, as long as you have the funds available, you can swap out any of your Italian players for other ones who are in the starting lineup. But to give you guys the rundown, Bonucci, kind of just have him because if he plays, I think their chance of a clean sheet is somewhat high. And I suppose he's a center back. There's, always a goal threat there from corners and whatnot. Spinazzola, I brought in the team. Everybody knows how attacking this guy is. He's a righty who plays left back, so it cuts inside a lot. He's been great in both games so far, in my opinion. Very attacking option. And once again, if he plays, you have that fullback aspect of him getting you more points, as well as the clean sheet aspect. And the Berardi I've just gone with because I think he's been decent. He will probably play. He's not exactly one of the main guys. He's not Immobile. He's not Insigne. And if he gets rotated, I can always just swap him with someone else, like I said. Going back into my last starting defender, you guys can see we're starting in a 3 at the back formation. I'm going with Mele. I'm not too sure how to pronounce his name. He is the Danish guy playing against Russia, so decent fixture for them, but he's kind of disappointed so far. Only gotten 3 total points, but kind of just got him because he's cheap. And once again, he's a fullback, so you have that attacking aspect of it. The rest of my midfield is where it gets a little bit interesting. I have kind of taken a punt on Kevin De Bruyne. He was really good in the last match that Belgium won. He came on as a sub, I believe, and scored a goal and an assist in the 2-1 win. Who was it against? It was against Denmark, yeah. So he managed to get 10 points in that game alone, which is pretty good. And I think the reason why he might play is actually solely because he hasn't been playing all that much. I think going into the knockouts, which they're already qualified for, obviously, they will want him to be fit. If he didn't play match day 1, played 45 in match day 2, I think he has a good chance of playing closer to 90 in match day 3. My other two midfielders, I've gone with Ivan Perisic and Andrei Yarmolenko. They both have good fixtures and they play on different days, so I'm trying to give myself a variety of captaincy options. So Perisic has 9 points in 2 games. He's only selected by 2% of people, so perhaps a bit of a differential. I thought he was really good in this Czech Republic game. Obviously not the best of opponents, but then again, neither is Scotland. Both of these teams are only on 1 point, I believe. Scotland have yet to even score a goal. Not that that really matters for Perisic because he's an attacking player, but I think as a captaincy option, a slight differential, and just to get someone in who's playing against Scotland, which is not a bad fixture, I think he's good. And then next, Yarmolenko. 18 points, selected by 5% of people. I think that's mostly because of his price tag, but I mean, he's definitely justified it so far. He had 1 goal, which was also from outside the box, which is an extra point against the Netherlands. That goal was an absolute worldie. Scored once and assisted once in only 70 minutes against Macedonia. And then, well, they play Austria. This should be a fairly open game because both Ukraine and Austria definitely need this win. And in my opinion, he's Ukraine's best attacking player by far. He plays in the Premier League for West Ham United. Overall, decent player. He's getting up there a little bit in age. He's 31, but obviously he's still got it. Look at the Euros tournament he's been having. Into my attack, I've doubled up on Belgium. And once again, I know they're already qualified, but I just feel like this guy, he's not exactly first choice, I don't believe. I mean, yeah, he's only played 27 minutes. So I brought him in because he's not too expensive, and I would expect him to get a decent amount of minutes in a game against a weak opponent that they don't even really need to win. So, and he did get an assist in 27 minutes, so that's not bad at all. And he's one of the really only 2 strikers, I believe, in the squad. So I brought him in for 6 million. Yeah, kind of, again, just taking a punt on him. But where I'm really kind of going all in, I put 10% of my money into this guy, is Memphis Depay. He has 1 goal in 171 minutes of football. Does he need to play? No. Do I think he will want to play? Yes. Do I think he will play despite the fact he could be asked to be arrested? Yes, I think he will want to play solely because he's got a bit of an ego about him. He's a good player, but I watched him at Manchester United. I've followed him since he left. He's a little arrogant, kind of wants to be the star of the show. I don't think he will have been impressed with himself so far, and he will want to play against Northern Macedonia. My last attacker in the starting lineup is Roman Yaremchuk. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He has 15 points so far, so not bad at all. 7 million, not terribly cheap, not terribly expensive. But again, like I explained about Yarmolenko earlier, Austria, Ukraine should be a fairly open game. I would expect both teams to go for it and try to score goals because, if they're not scoring, they're not going through. He has 2 goals and 1 assist in 160 minutes, and I believe he should definitely start for them. So for 7 million, not the worst option. Austria is no joke. I'm actually kind of supporting Austria this Euro, so I hope they do well. But from a fantasy perspective, I'm thinking Ukraine have a good shot. No Austrian players, but even if Austria win, I think Yaremchuk and Yarmolenko could still score or assist. And then onto my bench, I have Szczesny, like I already explained. They play Sweden. He's only 5 million, and I think he's a bit of a better option who also plays later than Hradecky. But obviously Hradecky had a fantastic 13 or 14 point game in match day 1, so who knows what either two of these guys are capable of, both in their respective yellow kits. I've gone for 2 Germans. Germany play on the last day of the group, I believe, the 23rd, or later than everybody else in my lineup anyway. And I thought Germany were fantastic today. I was worried watching them play France, but obviously France is France. But they drew 1-1 to Hungary, so nobody really knows in football what the hell can happen. The best team in the world can lose to the worst team in the world on any given day. It just depends what the football gods want, I guess. But Havertz got a goal today, I believe. Thought he was really good overall. Obviously scored in the Champions League final. And I think he should start for them because, you know, they're playing Hungary, but Hungary are no joke. Like I said, they drew against France, who are arguably the best team in the world right now. But I expect Kai Havertz to play, given the fact that Germany need a big win here in their final match. And as well as the fact, I think he's a great player. You know, you could also opt for somebody like Serge Gnabry or maybe Timo Werner. I'm not really too sure his situation, but yeah, I think Kai Havertz is one of the better options, and his price definitely says so, with 9 million not being cheap at all. Then I've got two defenders on my bench. Another German, Robin Gosens, I believe is how you say his name. It wouldn't be Gersens because there's no umlaut. I'm not too sure, but I thought this guy was absolutely brilliant against Portugal. You know, you can see here 1 goal and 2 assists from the left or right back position, I believe. I forget what side of the defense he plays on, but very attacking fullback. Thought he was brilliant against Portugal. I might have said France a minute ago. They played Portugal. Sorry if I misspoke. But yeah, I think for only 5 million, he's an absolute dub. I would imagine he plays again, you know, after that performance, and again, given the fact that Germany need a big win here against Hungary. And then my final player to wrap up the video, guys, is Pau Torres from Spain. I believe he's played 180 minutes, yeah, so he started and completely finished both matches so far. Spain needs something big here as well. They have 2 draws so far, I believe, yeah, 1-1 and a 0-0. So they need a win. I don't expect them to change their lineup too much. They have Slovakia, which is a preferable fixture, and their defense has not looked terrible. While, you know, their offense, they've only scored 1 goal in the 2 matches. And for only 4.5 million, someone who started both games, for such a big team, such a big national team in Spain, I really don't think you can go wrong with him. Anyway, that is the team, guys. Obviously, I've got, you know, my bench and my starting lineup set up in accordance to the day they play, so I can make subs every single day after the matches are over, as I mentioned earlier. Using my wild card this week, I recommend y'all do the same, because I mean, after the group stage, you get free unlimited transfers again, kind of as if, you know, just a fresh start. Obviously, can't pick anybody who's been eliminated from the tournament, but then throughout the knockout stages, after every knockout stage, you get a higher allotment of free trips. So I think it's good to just use your chips now. That is the team. I'm fairly confident in everybody playing, other than maybe the Italian players, but as I explained earlier, I will be able to change them out with whatever Italian players are starting when I see the lineup. I just gotta make sure I get up, you know, an hour before the match or so. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Let me know how you guys are doing in your own fantasy if you're playing. Let me know down below in the comments. Let me know what you think of my team, and let me know what you're doing for your team for this match week. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Love you all. Appreciate you. Peace out.